What's up, y'all? Right now we're going to take a look at shooting off of pick and roll. The first set of footwork we're going to look at is a foot replacement. So I have these cones straddling the three-point line. That simulates my offensive teammate setting a ball screen for me. We're going to break this down. I love this footwork, shooting off ball screens, especially when that big doesn't hedge. There's kind of zoning off. We have the basketball in my right hand, my right foot's forward, my left foot's back. I want to take a dribble at the high foot of the ball screen. From that dribble now, we're going to hop and land on two. The reason this is so effective, obviously I'm in an immediate position to raise up and shoot with flow, but I also created some lateral separation away from the screen. And what that does is if my on-ball defender tries to get skinny and goes over the top, if he gets clipped, if I don't have any space, he can still essentially contest me, even if he gets clipped from the screen. But if I can create a little bit more space off the hop, now it puts me in a better position for my on-ball defender because I created a little bit more lateral separation. It doesn't have to be a ton, it's all about the situation. So for the drill's sake, right foot forward, left foot back. We take our dribble step here with our left, we hop off the left, land on two, and flow. One of the problems that players have with this, and I see this all over the world, is when they work off this footwork, they typically pick the basketball up too early. So if I was coming off a ball screen this way, and I go dribble with this left foot here, and I hop to get into my shot, I'm lateral, I go here, I don't want you to gather it before your feet hit the ground, because you limit your options. If that's a great big and they start hedging or they put a hand up and you don't have a shot, you pick the ball up too early. So I want you guys to hop, hang the basketball in this right hand, and when your feet hit, now you pick up and you flow. Or if they hedge, like I said, you can still put the basketball down and go. And I see a lot of players when they're training struggle with this, because when you're training, if you're working on shooting, you know you're going to shoot the basketball, depending on the situation. So if you know you're going to shoot, typically players pick up the ball too early. The issue with that is in a game situation, you're not sure when you're going to shoot. It's all reactive and based on the defense. So now your timing is a little bit off. And let me give you an example. If I'm training without a defender, all right, and no accountability, and I go hop here, I know I'm going to shoot because I'm getting shooting reps up, correct? So I hop, I might gather it, and then I'll flow. I wasn't even thinking about why that's a little bit unrealistic. And now in a game, same thing, middle pick and roll, I hop, I'm hanging, that ball's in my right hand. I didn't gather it yet because I don't know if I'm going to shoot or if I'm going to still drive. So at times when in a game, I'll be here, I'm hanging, and then I'll pick up and flow because at that last second, I realized I had space. But if you guys don't train that way, if you train like knowing you're gonna shoot every time, that's when that pickup timing occurs, because now in a game, you didn't work on that timing. You just worked on what was comfortable, and that was gathering it early and then raising up and shooting. So it's so important, and honestly, I really see this issue. I've seen it all over the world, like I said. You have to stop gathering the ball too early when you're getting into these shots. There's times when you gather early, and Michael Jordan, for example, did a great job of getting to spots, and he literally knew he was gonna shoot, so he would pick it up early sometimes on the hip and then be able to get into that fadeaway. That's when you know you're gonna shoot, when you can literally get up over people and just let it fly. But when you guys are working out, you gotta know the difference between when you actually know you're gonna shoot or when off the dribble, it's a reaction based on the defense. And if it's a reaction based on the defense, you have to focus on making it as realistic as possible. I'll give you another example. If I was driving downhill, basketball's in my left hand, I don't know when I'm gonna shoot a pull-up if the defender's on my hip. But if they start to turn and run with that defensive cross step, now out of nowhere, I gather on this left foot and I flow into my shot, right? So that would be another example. But if I didn't have a defender on my hip and I was just working out training with no defense and I knew I was gonna shoot the basketball, typically players go here, they'll gather it early because they know they're gonna shoot, then they'll step, and then they'll flow. And then in a game, they're like, oh man, they gotta pick it up a little bit later because it's a reaction. oh, wait, I didn't work on that because I've been working on getting reps like this by picking it up and shooting it because that was comfortable to me. And that's one of the reasons shooting off the dribble has become so difficult for a lot of players is their pickup timing is way off because they're training in a controlled setting that's not forcing them or holding them accountable to make decisions and make reads.